How's it going, Mickey?
Oh, potty training is hell. What do you want me to say? I never thought I could feel so bad at doing something than potty training.
So your child doesn't know how to. I thought I taught your child about how to poop. I thought I already did that.
You taught them about how cool it is to poop.
Yes.
But you being an elder to him, that already made it not cool. So.
Oh shit.
Sorry about that.
I still thought I was in the cool. Yeah. I thought I could still be cool at least for a little while. Like I thought I'd still.
Like you could be a cool uncle.
Yeah.
Like you could still be a kunkle.
I don't know if I like that.
I
don't know if I like the sound of that.
You don't like kunkle. Kunkle?
Yeah, I don't know if I.
Right.
I don't know if I want any part of that.
Slur.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah.
So
living with a girl, is it based or is it cringe?
Oh, it's definitely cringe. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, it's definitely cringe.
Yes.
Definitely. You gotta like do things at the right time. You can't do things on your time anymore.
Yeah. Plus, if I know the red pill community correctly, she doesn't love you. You were just next. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if we're talking about the red pill community, like loving women is gay. So.
That is kind of gay. Like, why would you want to be loved, give love? It's kind of.
Yeah, it's gay.
It's kind of gay.
It's super gay.
So yeah, I guess it's cringe. Yeah. I'm very cringe.
Yeah, so not based.
But I try to be as basic as I can. One thing I've been reading now is that we need to hold women accountable. So that's I'm gonna start doing that. Don't ask me how.
Wait, is that like literally a thing we're saying now?
I've been seeing this, that it's like the guy gets blamed for everything. So like if anything bad happens in the relationship, it's always the man's fault.
I always say as a joke that like conservatives are the new liberals now, but that is like holding X accountable for X is literally stuff that liberals were just flooding Twitter with like 6-7 years ago. Like, and now conservatives are the ones saying it.
Dude, they are literally
like
conservatives are liberals. They're just
yeah, they are.
Yeah,
they're just like when they're in power, they become the annoying loud ones, and then when they're not, they're the underdogs.
Yeah, they just like exactly. Like they're conservative, I suppose, but like they're really just liberals, and like they're just like the treadmill is just going a little bit slower for them. Like the liberals, the treadmill is like it's at like set at like 8. The conservatives at like 6. Maybe even 5. Some these days they try to they think if they're going even slower, then that's even better. Like if they go 5, they're like, great, this is awesome.
To put it in sports terms, like they don't want it anymore. The other team just wanted it more. Well, the desire's gone, the light's gone out.
They're running the ball, like they're totally a ground and pound. Mm-hmm. Liberals are like, let's pass, let's do the forward pass. Conservatives are like, no.
Yeah.
Okay, you can check it down to the tight end every now and then.
They're trying to run out the clock.
Yeah.
They're quite literally trying to run out the clock, but also at the same time, they're ahead by 20 points, and you can get kind of comfortable when you're ahead by 20 points.
Yeah.
In the fourth
They're
quarter,
like, okay, it's 3rd and 10, fine, you can throw. Any other scenario though, you're gonna have to run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Exactly.
What else has been going on with you?
That metaphor kind of worked.
Kind of
cool.
Does.
Good for us.
Yeah.
Anyway, Star Wars. So I came up with this idea a couple I don't know, probably months ago, where I just think it's very funny, and I think maybe this is around the time of Andor wrapping up. It seems like a common trope in Star Wars, and I guess this isn't exclusive to Star Wars. Other sci-fi and especially fantasy has this idea of things that get passed down and significant items, who has them at what time and who's trying to get them back, this kind of thing. I called it chains of custody because it's chains of custody is sort of a legal term for knowing exactly where an item went and making sure that it's not accounted for, that it doesn't go unaccounted for a long period of time, and knowing where something is documented and whatnot. And in looking into this and looking into different chains of custody, it is funny where Star Wars, capital S, capital W, Lucasfilm, Star Wars, cares about chain of custody, and then when it's just does hand waves about it. Did you notice this? Like, it's important until it's not important.
When have they ever said it's important, though?
I don't know if I'm not saying they've said it's important. But okay, let's get right into it. So I'm gonna hit things off with maybe the most famous one, and that is the Skywalker Lightsaber, which is what we're calling it now. Used to be called Anakin's lightsaber, then it was Luke's lightsaber, and then it really wasn't Luke's lightsaber, and then it was Rey's lightsaber, and then she threw it away. Literally like desert garbage. And the chain of custody was important for a while because they make a point of it, of showing you who grabs it. Like, it is very deliberate when Obi-Wan picks it up off the ground, right? Because Obi-Wan defeats Anakin. I have the high ground. I'm about to slice your legs off. And then he picks it up off the ground, and it's a very deliberate thing because it needs to set up for episode 1, him handing it over to Luke, of course. And then it is also a big deal when it is uncovered in The Force Awakens that Kylo Ren immediately recognizes what it is and says, "Hey, that's mine." Like, even though you haven't had it all your life, and you say, "Hey, that's mine." And there's some backstory to that. There's some canonical comic books about there's a group of acolytes that are literally, that's their entire job, is to try to find his lightsaber. And rumor has it that's possibly how Maz got her hands on it, is she defeated a group of those people who had it, but there's no canon reason for it. And so that's my whole point here, is it's important because there are stories where Anakin builds it, uses it, abuses it, kills younglings. It does terrible things. It does great things. We care about where it is. We care about who has it until there's like a lull, and then just Maz just has it. So if you're looking at this, there is still no proof. Like, I guess proof is the wrong. There's no there's a missing chain of custody there between when it's found on Cloud City and then when Maz has it. So it's just what I'm just trying to say here is it moves at the speed of the plot, like a lot of things. So chain of custody, important until it's not important, until we just need to, our heroes just are happening onto it. You see what I'm saying there?
Yeah, it seems like a sequel trilogy thing to make it important.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, there's a lot of hand waviness in the sequel trilogy in general. Like, how did we get here in 30 years? Why is there an empire again? Like, there's kind of a, hopefully the comic is or a novel is written to explain that, and then nothing happens.
So there's now I'm starting to understand what you're coming from. Like, it was important in episode 7, because it reverberated through the Force, right? To Rey, it called out.
It called
to Rey, and that was cool. I remember thinking that was cool because have we really had that tethering of the Force to an object really in the movies? I don't think we have.
Yeah, I guess that I didn't say it's not cool that Rey finds it. What kind of just pisses me off, and I was researching this hoping that I'd find here's just a comic book I haven't read yet, and the comic book does tell you how they find it on Quad City DJs. Bettendorf. What are the Quad Cities? Pop quiz. I just named one of them.
Oh, dude, I don't know.
Bettendorf, Moline, East Moline, and Rock Island.
Okay, I'm glad I didn't.
There you go.
I'm glad I didn't attempt to.
Only one of them is in Iowa. Do you know which one?
Moline?
No, Bettendorf.
I should have.
Yeah,
known.
the other 3 are in Illinois. You know your Illinois trivia, Chris. Come on.
Illinois. Canon.
So anyway, Cloud City DJs. There is a story about how they find it. However, they don't tell you how Maz gets it. And obviously, the plot device is that it needs to be in the basement of the castle. And it needs to be there at the exact right time. And you could say it's destiny, but obviously our Mary Sue that everyone likes to say, just it calls out to her. And she happens to go in the basement and then touch it and then see all the terrible things that happened to it. Or all the terrible things that was done and maybe all the good things.
The terrible things that happened to it.
To it, yeah. That were done with it.
Yeah.
Ray, these are your first steps of killing kids. Anyway, that was just my only gripe, because I was hoping to go through this and like, man, this is so cool. Like we like paying attention to what happens to Luke's lightsaber, and we want to see what the path goes down, and then there's still this plot device that they haven't figured out. And this is also a sneak preview to the same sort of sentence structure of somehow Palpatine returned. Somehow we return. Well, Maz says something very similar where she says, that's a story for another time. It's like, well, how did you get this lightsaber? That's a story for another time. And then it's kind of like hint, hint, wink, wink. We're going to just write a series of books, and you'll have to read those books to find out. But
that's great.
Obviously, it moves at the speed of the plot. It's there for Rey to find it. And I'll still say it was cool that it calls out to her, and she is able to pull it on, Starkiller base and not Kylo, like that kind of stuff. The whole destiny of the object of itself is cool. I need to know, as a completist, as a lore idiot myself, I need to know how Maz got it. That's my only gripe. Anyway, your thoughts?
I don't know if I love that we're being asked to do the heavy lifting on this, Nick. Like, why are podcasters responsible?
That we have to fill out the paperwork?
Yeah, like the podcasters are responsible for like this chain of custody. They're like, we don't know. It's up to podcasters to figure this out.
Yeah.
Who is Maz Kanata, man? Why is she so important?
This little wrinkly old lady.
Dude, she just runs. She's a bartender. Like, she's a
she
proprietor
has
of a
curio cabinet in the basement somehow.
And it became so like these things are I'm not, this wasn't meant to be a criticism of these movies, but here we are. It just feels like a throwaway. Like they dropped it off. They dropped off the kids at the daycare and they forgot to pick them back up. Like, it's like, what's going on? We just forgot that this. Oh shit, we gotta go back and pick. Then they just decided not to, and someone else's kids now. Sorry, Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, I do like your spreadsheet of the owners. So going in order of the lightsaber, we have
for the audio
Anakin Skywalker.
Right now, I'm displaying a little timeline, of the
really helpful graphic, a deck, if you will, to use the corporate parlance. So we've got Anakin Skywalker. He builds it. I actually didn't realize this is his second lightsaber, and then I looked up, like, wait, what was his first one? Well, it was destroyed on Geonosis.
See, that I
remember
forgot.
in the factory where in the factory the gear like runs over his hand, and his hand is okay, but the lightsaber is smashed. And I totally forgot that happened. So in Attack of the Clones, his first lightsaber is destroyed, and he builds another one in between, like during the Clone Wars. And I think that's just basically so they can have him do that in a sequence in the Clone Wars. So what we're talking about, the Skywalker lightsaber, is actually his second one, and it has like a little piece of leather on it.
Okay.
That the first one didn't.
So wait, I'm not
and
sorry.
It's sort of the same build, and he likes. And they even talk about it's got chunky buttons on it. He loves the little chunky buttons.
Chunky buttons are cool. As we've discussed, this podcast is pro chunky button and knobs and dials. Very much pro. So the fight with Dooku, that's not how it gets destroyed, right? Because otherwise he wouldn't be able to dual wield. I think they even
it's destroyed on Geonosis.
Yes. Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. Like in that big, the arena battle where they break free of the monster gladiator stuff, and then they go to the battle droid assembly line.
He just gets a lightsaber.
His hand gets caught in like one of the stamps that makes one of the parts to the droids, and you'll see like he gets his hand out, but the lightsaber is sliced in half.
There you go. Yep.
See, again, one of these important things that they put in there, and then you just completely forget about them. Whereas some of the other things are a little bit more important, but for plot reasons, they don't explain why. So we got Anakin has it. Then he, of course, gets sliced up to pieces and burnt to a crisp. Obi-Wan picks it up, of course, setting up the entire sequence to the beginning of A New Hope, where he hands it off to Luke.
I think I copy and pasted this twice.
That's
why there's duplication. So
yeah, It doesn't. It's you know what this reminded me of is like, is this Tenet? Because it just goes forward and backwards.
Keeps going. Yes.
No. Yeah, you paste it in there twice. Yep. So then, Maz Kanata, there's a gap in there. There is a story in I think it's the 2000 run of Star Wars, the titular Star Wars Marvel comic. He goes back to Cloud City and asks the Ugnaughts, and I'm sure they have a very Ugnaughty exchange where he has to say I have spoken or something like that, and the Ugnaughts don't recognize it, and he reaches out with the Force to try to find it, and he sees visions of things to come, and then there's another plot line where that takes him away. So he leaves Cloud City empty-handed. Haha, pun.
Right.
However, the Ugnaughts do find it after he leaves, and I think that's kind of like the plot twist, cliffhanger. And then we don't know what happens to it after that. So there was, I believe, in the Chuck Wendig books, that is supposed to fill in the gaps between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens. There's a group of Sith cultists that go to try and find it. And I think they do make it to Cloud City, and I think it's implied that they have it, and then Maz gets it from them somehow. And so Maz has it, and she just sticks it away to conveniently be found by Rey, but actually picked up by Finn. If you forget about this part, he uses it for a while in The Force Awakens.
Was that controversial?
And, of course, gets his ass kicked. Well, I think I like that it exists too.
I remember why it was controversial, because he fought well against...
He fought decently, right? He still gets his ass kicked, but
for a non-Jedi,
people argue
for someone has no combat experience with a saber.
Well, asterisk on the non-Jedi part.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it is surmised / retconned that he fared so well because he was Force sensitive, and that's what we find out in at the end of the shitty
one movie,
Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, that one movie that ended it all. And so it sort of retcons. Well, that's why he did so well. He was very unrefined, and they people say that Kylo was kind of playing with him for a while and then just sliced him up the back. Then Rey picks it up, and I think one of the biggest benefits of having Finn pick it up for a day is the trailer, because we see Finn light it up in the trailer, and everyone thought, oh, he's the Force user. He might be the new Jedi to come about.
Take me back to those.
And then
days,
they
Nick.
do.
Take me back to
That was so
Force
fun,
Awakens
trying to figure out who Kylo Ren was, and then he kind of had a mask that sort of looked like Darth Revan, and you're like, oh wait, are they trying to canonize Darth Revan, but in this way?
So much speculation.
Man, back then, and then remember when they had the toy release where you could go to Target and get toys from this movie you haven't seen yet? I think it was September or something like that. So they released all the toys in September, 3 months before the movie even came out. We're all just who are these people? That was a really exciting time. Too bad it got ruined.
I used to work at a company that was a subsidiary with IGN, and so they were salespeople from IGN.
Oh yeah.
And so as soon as that trailer dropped, it was I
remember those days.
Yeah, and
that's when we started talking.
Yep. And so I exactly. We were doing Nerd Glow, and I was everyone a guy didn't even know. He just had to stop by my desk. He was like, "Is that the trailer?" I was like, "Yes, dude. Come sit right here. We're watching this thing."
I was in a car when that trailer
Where
dropped.
Were you when
we were on our way back. I was on the way. I think honestly, was it Thanksgiving? No, the trailer had to have been before Thanksgiving.
I'm having a hard time remembering. For some reason,
No, you know
Was
what?
it
The
a Star
trailer
Wars
dropped
celebration?
Thanksgiving the year. The trailer dropped the year before. Like it was.
Yeah.
It was in Thanksgiving of 2014, and I remember it dropped while I was in a car and I was not driving, so I was watching on the way back from an apple orchard, and I just remember just like, what is this?
Yeah.
Man, like you could play that TFA trailer for me right now and I'd get excited again because it still had the same. It's like, oh, there's a ball droid.
It's a great trailer.
There's a black stormtrooper.
It's very urgent. It's like very exciting.
Yeah, they're all running, and then there's like this cloaked figure. Like, who is this guy? Anyway,
Cool
so
lightsaber.
Finn
yeah.
holds it in the trailer. And then another brief. Obviously, we know what Rey has it, gives it to Luke. Luke gives it a little tossy Lou over his shoulder. Rey picks it back up, and
There you go. Another thing
lots
with
of
it
cool
not
things
mattering.
happen.
Well, maybe it did matter, but he said it didn't.
Yeah, maybe it did matter. And I'm going way too long on the lightsaber. I know we have other cool stuff to talk about.
But I think this is the big. To be honest, I think this is like the coolest one. But
this is the
big one. Yeah.
And like another part of the chain of custody is like, what is it done? What is done to it, quote unquote? What is it used for? Well, it's killed younglings at this point. It's killed countless droids and other things. But then it is used to kill Snoke, which is another really cool, fun thing.
Yeah.
And then it is broken apart after that event and just unceremoniously putting it back together. Then significantly used by Ben Solo himself at the very end battle of Exegol, only to be recovered again by Rey Skywalker at this point, and just buried in the desert of Tatooine, where it should have always been buried. It's almost like saying, what if Obi-Wan just buried it here instead of giving it to Luke, and then none of these events happened? It's like, well, here, I'll bury it now. How's that?
It just doesn't have quite the consistency. I guess like you said, I think the big thing for me here is what is important about it. It's sort of fuzzy. Like it's cool to, like the timeline itself is cool. The fact that it had like force, I don't know what do you call it? Like what it was basically force tethered, or it had echoes of the force, right? Onto it.
And that's gonna be have to be a topic, is like, the force is supposed to bind all living things, and I suppose like the crystal itself is probably what is
that's a good
to
point.
The force.
Absolutely true. And that's something that didn't
and
get
it has a
explored
destiny
a lot.
of its own. It's like its own character, right?
Yeah, and yes, and it does bond with the crystals, bond themselves to the user. So they have to be. It's sort of like the wand from Harry Potter, where like it's aspects of it.
Again, another hand wavy, like, oh, that's why it was in Maz's basement, because it was meant to be there.
Well, and here we are as podcasters doing the work for Star Wars on this one, which I'm fine with.
Exactly.
That's fun.
And the real answer is if we had a representative from Lucasfilm Story Group, they'd be like, you guys are morons. None of this matters.
Are you sure they wouldn't just be like,
it's there to serve a plot device?
They'd be like, bro, those were some, those were our ideas. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. You guys should work for us.
What crazy idea. I would never suggest something like that. Quick video though, for us. Have you seen this?
Okay. Yes, I have seen this.
You're hearing the audio?
Deleted scene that didn't need to be deleted. I'm not hearing the audio, but you should probably describe what's happening for our listeners.
So this is a deleted scene from Return of the Jedi where Luke is putting the finishing touches on his green lightsaber, and he's got the hood on, like he's with R2. He's obviously on Tatooine, so it's before he tries to go rescue Han and Leia, or at least Han with Leia and Lando. Deleted scene. I don't really know much about that clip, but I know that it exists, and that's kind of cool.
Yeah, in a way, I understand why it was deleted because, like, it was extraneous. Like, why did we need to know that he was like finishing his lightsaber on Tatooine? Like, he could have, you know.
But the thing is,
it's
like,
implied,
that's
like, oh, he's got a new
what
lightsaber.
the video. I don't know the context around this. That's what the YouTube video says. But could that just be tuning it up? Like, because, I mean,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, is he really just gonna be like, well, maybe I'll create my lightsaber in a cave on Tatooine before I go rescue Han? Maybe that's when I'll do it.
Yeah, because he just has one little panel slid off, and then he's got like basically the space version of a mini screwdriver, and he's just doing little.
Yeah.
He's like, you know, I'm wondering if he's just turning the power down a little bit.
Yeah, he's just fine tune. He's just giving it a tune up. Another thing, this image was taken from, I think, like, it's actually from a store. So this is a lightsaber that you can buy. But I looked at,
and it's wrong, right? Because it's Luke's, or it's the Anakin's lightsaber, but it's green.
Well, hold on. So that might have been my bad, because I tried to match it up with what I saw on Wikipedia. You know, when I was looking for it.
Well, that makes sense. It's like it's a custom saber where someone got Anakin's lightsaber but put Luke's color on it. Yeah,
that's true. But I think the hilt is accurate though. Like, that's the thing I saw was
hilt looks pretty good.
Yeah, like the hilt has that kind of asymmetric ending, or like so it looks pretty good. The fact that you could buy something that looks that cool. But I did, as I was Googling the word, the term Skywalker lightsaber, I also saw this little tidbit that someone apparently thought that they bought the lightsaber prop from A New Hope, and they bought it for $450,000. But I believe that it was okay. I thought for a second that it was a fake, but not. And doesn't. I guess it doesn't say here that it was actually a fake. But that's kind of nuts. Someone bought that for $450K.
It seems kind of low. I mean, unless this was years ago.
You know, right? Yeah. I'm guessing if someone bought this. This is not the biggest Star Wars item.
You know what's funny to me? Mm-hmm. Like when people now that was this bought by a company? I think it says like the Ripley company. So
sold to the
Ripley's
Orlando-based Ripley company. Yeah, so it's not even a person.
Okay, so a company bought it. It'd be like if an individual guy bought it, like you almost want to say to him, you know, this isn't real. This was not used in the Star Wars. This was used to film the movie Star Wars. Important distinction.
This is the movie prop lightsaber, not the actual.
Because I want to say, if you were to like, let's say this is real, like, and I'm sure they have multiple versions, right? They probably.
It was owned by Gary Kurtz.
They probably had,
so I would say that's a pretty good indication that it was.
They probably had 10 of them, right? Like, because like if one broke, or like here's the one that has a working button, and here's the one that is meant to be held on the hilt versus here's the one that's actually meant
how
to
many
be lit,
different
you know?
versions
so they probably had
have
like
of it, you know?
Probably a lot. But let's say you got one of them, because I'm sure they're all probably pretty equally valuable. Like, as long as they got screen time, they were probably equally valuable. But I bet if you held one of them, you'd be disappointed.
You think? I mean, it was...
Because I think you have this idea of how it probably feels like a real thing and like is good. But I think like, I bet if you picked up a movie prop, it's like, oh, this is kind of chintzy feeling, because it's built to look good on a camera. It's not built to actually feel good holding, you know?
You're just saying that, Nick, because you don't have it.
Yeah, okay. That's just sour grapes for me, I guess.
You're just jealous,
you know what I'm saying,
Nick?
though? Because like I feel like, okay, like if it was behind glass, let's say it's at Disney World, right? Because that seems like a good place they should store these things, right? So you can
at the Lucas Museum,
or like
or whatever. Does that exist?
Yeah,
the one that they didn't build in Chicago.
They didn't build that one. Remember?
Yeah. No, the one they didn't build.
The Friends of the Birds. The Friends of the Birds.
Well, good on,
people blocked it.
Yeah, they needed that parking lot was being used really well.
Fuck them kids. But like like imagine you saw it behind glass. I'm sure it's, oh, it looks very cool. It looks nice. And it's exactly how I thought. Well, yeah, because it's the camera ready. But I bet if you're able to pick it up, it'd be like, oh man.
But let's pretend that what you would want it to feel like if you were that person that bought it and you're like a big Star Wars fan, obviously.
You would want it to feel like a real thing.
Wouldn't you want it to have some weight to it, right? You'd think that it would have some decent weight, like not overly heavy, but like you'd want it to be substantial.
Yeah.
I agree. I feel like I'd want it to be that way. Okay, now that has been the Skywalker lightsaber. Now I suggested this one to you, Nick. I didn't really realize how deep down the rabbit hole it goes, but I thought the Millennium Falcon was a good.
This is a cool one because even the rundown gets some screen time. In the Force Awakens, like, oh, it went to the Property Boys. Like, what are some of the fake names that they give them? Oh yeah, Duquesne and the Irving Boys. Irving Boys sounds like a gang from Peaky Blinders.
Yes,
like they went to London and they fought the Irving Boys.
And the Irving Boys had it for.
It doesn't sound very Star Warsy.
The Irving, not at all. Not like.
Wait, there was a scuffle with the Irving Boys.
Some of these are pretty Star Warsy though, like Dova Brigger. That's pretty Star Warsy.
Yeah, there you go. That is Star
Kix
Warsy.
Truvy.
Sure.
I like that. Like that's.
Truvet. Probably.
Kix Truvet. Yes. So, and then you have Gannis Duquesne. Not a big fan of that one.
Duquesne also sounds like a earthy name. It sounds like a machinery corporation, like they make screws.
Yeah.
Duquesne makes the best fasteners in the Midwest.
The best.
They're nifty, you see.
The best fasteners in all the galaxy.
It was a scuffle with the Irving Boys. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I really was just like, okay, well, we know that Lando had it beforehand. Even that was kind of a big reveal for the movie, right? That's what. Mm-hmm. Oh, you got it from that guy? And then we get a movie about it called Solo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's like Rogue One, but just about the Irving Boys.
About the Irving.
Yeah.
Irving Boys, a Star Wars story.
Man, I need to know about Cal and Dova Brigger and the Republic group. Who are these people?
Yeah, Cal and these were the OGs. So yeah, they're like the first. They must have purchased it, because the first one is Corel Industries. They must have been the manufacturer. So let's see if we can pull up.
I like the different ship names that it had.
Yeah.
The Jackpot.
Hardwire.
Then
the Wayward Son.
That
Wayward Son. That's cool.
Carry on my wayward son.
That's awesome.
We got Stellar Envoy, Second Chance. Now, okay, you know what? Second Chance is a dope ass starship name. Kind of wish it was Second Chance still.
Second Chance.
It was used in circuses. Come on.
Multiples.
Come on.
Well, do you think that was before it started to get heavily modified? I mean, Lando was the one that I think modified it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, he took off the with the thing up the front how it's like a little fork up the front. It's got the two pieces, and in Solo there isn't one.
Okay, I'm not sure if I remember.
I think he took that off.
Okay.
Yeah.
It says that it was stolen from Imperial. Oh, so the Imperials seized it, then they got it out, which is awesome. That's when it got named to Millennium Falcon. I mean, I guess you got to rename it. If you're getting it out of impoundment, you got to give it a different name.
Now, when it says "gone to pieces," was that a name or it broke apart?
That might be the AI just like kind of trying to piece that together.
Okay, was it just saying like it fell apart, aka gone to pieces?
I'm guessing.
Because gone to pieces is also a really cool ship name.
That's kind of what it was when we found it in the original trilogy, it was like, what is this pile of bucket of bolts? Maybe that's what they call droids, but
then after you see in Solo how he basically beaches it and drowns the ship,
Yes.
that makes sense.
um,
It was nice and white, and the interior was like a kind of a gaudy, like shiny, pearlescent sort of interior, and then one day of water damage ruined it all, and it was all yellow after that.
definitely not a seaworthy.
Do you think they have black mold in space?
Oh, I don't know. But yeah, this is a good example. This is a good. That's like the Lando version, right? Before it got messed up by Han.
Yeah, because before it does, so that has that detachable fork up, so that little entry, that like thing where the fork
over
is now
on the front
for Han. Yeah, in the front, that is an escape pod. So you can, not the one, the one that Rey gets into, in the Last Jedi. So they jump, not that one, but it's like a detachable little thing that you crawl into. But the whole reason why it's a freighter that looks like that is when you detach it, you can use those forks to pick up stuff. So we don't ever see that. I don't think it's ever depicted in canon, but that little fork thing picks things up, and you can then like grab cargo with it. And that explains why the cockpit is off to the side.
I've never seen the ship with this color, this coloring of like red and blue and yellow. So it's kind of interesting.
Red and blue and yellow. Yeah, that looks.
It looks like based on the timeline that it's more sequel trilogy, because it's like after these.
Looks a little apocryphal. Maybe it's from a story we don't know yet.
It could be a non-canon.
You know what? They just need to make a series just about all these people that we haven't met yet, like Calendova,
a Millennium Falcon series. It seems it could be fun.
Yeah, like almost like a Tales of the Empire.
Yeah, like there's something like that.
Tales of the Underworld. You know what? I haven't watched Tales.
Me neither. Now that I think about it,
because I was just my head was way too far up Andor's ass.
Yeah,
to switch to watch that.
That kind of dominated the moment.
They should have done it after Andor. It was poor timing, and then I don't know. Lucasfilm made some weird timing decisions with like that and Andor. Although Andor's perfect, I'm not gonna. You do you, Andor, but then like not releasing the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith on. You couldn't go watch it on May the 4th.
No.
So like,
but it also competed.
Why release it 2 weeks?
Me, it was competed with like my headspace of what I want to be interested in. Yeah,
because I had you at my house for May the 4th, and we couldn't even go see a Star Wars.
I know that's a little weird how they're like, and go stay home and watch Disney Plus, which you can do any other time of year. So
that's what I do every other day. Right?
That's what I do every other day.
Yeah. So Millennium Falcon, 6 Trouvé, 6 Trouvé.
Yeah.
Lost it, wouldn't you know, in a game of sabacc to Lando. So really, Lando can't be that mad.
Well, he lost it fair and square.
He did lose it fair and square, although asterisk, he really did.
Because he cheated. He did not lose it fair and square.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe though that they are all
how
cheap.
Do we know how Han loses the Millennium Falcon in between Jedi and The Force Awakens? How does it get to Gannis Duquesne?
Let's see if we can pull that up, Nicholas, on the old Wikipedia.
Yeah.
New Republic. Duquesne. Let's find our friend Duquesne. Okay, yeah, that's our first. Overall, while the pair were conversing, Nikto named Gannis Duquesne offered to co-pilot for Solo after overhearing that Chewbacca was with his family and that Solo was short-handed for a job. Okay, so they went to Christophsis. That's your first mistake. Never go to Christophsis. And then, so he accepted Duquesne's offer, and then Duquesne stole it there.
Yeah. Okay.
But then it was later stolen by the Irving boys.
The Irving boys, like the Island Boys.
It's the Irving boys. They're at it again, stealing the Millennium Falcon.
The Irving boys. They had a scuffle.
They had a scuffle on Christophsis
Square. Clone Wars. Yeah, we're mixing up our mid-Atlantic accent with our British accent.
Right. Well, how do you yes, it's there. This video keeps popping up on Wikipedia.
Oh yeah, they really want you to watch XO Kitty.
Yeah, I don't.
What is XO Kitty?
I don't know, but like, can I please stop seeing?
Are you allowed to be unattractive in South Korea? Like,
no.
I feel like you have to be a pretty boy
Wow.
in South Korea.
Interesting. That's a Star Wars character with that hairdo.
Like, are there any like dudes in South Korea that are not good at?
They're
face?
all beautiful.
Like
Beautiful men.
They're all beautiful,
women.
shiny. Yeah.
Except for, he looks normal. But he's also American, I think, in this case, maybe, possibly. The Irving boys were 2 male individuals. Okay. They once came in possession of Smuggler's Guide. Okay. Oh, what's the Smuggler's Guide? Is that a book? Is that like an ebook that Han wrote? I didn't know there was a. Did you know there was a Smuggler's Guide?
Whoa! So is this like the remember the Way of the Force book?
Oh, Maz Kanata's journal.
Like you could.
Wait a minute. We're coming full circle here.
Whoa.
So that's what it was also known as.
I think you need to buy that.
I think I do.
Yeah,
Is it? It seems like it's an in-universe book though.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, so there is a comic book called the Han Solo Hunt for the Falcon, where Gannis Duquesne actually appears.
Well, there has to be
this is a
something, right? It
run
can't
of
just be.
Holy crap!
What?
No, this is a comic book that haven't come out yet. This is
Seriously?
a comic book that starts in September of this year. Get ready, folks! It's coming.
That's awesome.
All right, I'm gonna read that.
What is it called?
That, man. Han Solo Hunt for the Falcon.
How timely.
Apparently, this is where we're gonna meet Gannis Duquesne.
I guess it's too late to change the name.
All right, I have not read a Star Wars comic in a long time. and
No,
need to
I
get
have
back
the
to it.
Boba Fett
Partly because there's too many of them.
one sitting.
There's way too many of them, and it's really hard for me because I'm such a completist. I'm like, I need to read all of these. I'm like, well, there's 6,000 of them. Get ready.
Yeah, it's hard. Okay, there's the Millennium Falcon. But we had one more item, and that was the Darksaber.
The Darksaber.
The Darksaber.
Sabra.
Yeah, I always spell it wrong. I either think it's
Sabre.
two separate
The
words.
Darksaber hummus.
Or it's R-E instead of E-R. I always pick the fanciest way, but it's actually just, it's like one word, and it's normal ass spelling.
You know, if this were a like 2010s era startup, it would be a lowercase d with a period at the end. Darksaber. Darksaber.
Yes.
They do like, what do they do? What is Darksaber?
They would be.
I think they do consulting. I think they get huge contracts to do.
I also could see it being cloud security.
Yes, but consulting.
But consulting
for
I absolutely consulting for cloud security.
Like they don't make anything. They like get paid $2 million to make a deck, essentially.
Yeah, that sounds.
And then the conclusion is always lay off people
and fire all these people over here.
Yeah, so pay us $2 million, and then now you're short on your operating revenue, and you have to do layoffs. Okay,
what a deal.
Are we good here? No. Time for the dinner. Oh yeah, you're paying.
Yeah, time for dinner, which you are paying for as the client.
Client pays.
Yeah,
we're billing this
absolutely.
to you. This is your time. Yeah. Anyway, did you enjoy the deck? Hope you lay off everybody.
Have fun with the layoffs.
Are you a little bit more familiar with the Darksaber than I am? Because I am much more on the Mandalorian side of things with the Darksaber.
Well, I think the best part for me is when Maul gets it. So that's the part that I'm more familiar with than you.
Does he kind of become like the Mandalorian like commander for a while because he has
it? He helps the Mandalorians take over Mandalore, but then he challenges Pre Vizsla, who's the leader of Death Watch, and after you kill the leader, you become the leader. So that's just the way it works. But the only thing is they don't really like it when a non-Mandalorian becomes the leader. It's like that's kind of a no-no. It's like, yeah, you're the leader, but
They don't like it, but they also, it's kind of looked down upon.
yeah, it's frowned upon, and some people didn't like there kind of was a faction that went to Sabine, or was it no sorry, it was actually
No, Bo-Katan.
yeah, Bo-Katan. There was a Bo-Katan faction they refused to recognize.
Sabine
him.
was too young at that
Yeah,
time.
yeah. So there was Bo-Katan was
Sabine was like a kid.
she did not she wasn't gonna follow Maul. So yeah, there was that part, and Maul wielded it for a while. That was probably some of the best episodes of Clone Wars, in my opinion. But yeah,
Nice.
the Darksaber. I mean, I think it's pretty sweet. I mean, Din Djarin, he used it as a non-Jedi.
It's
pretty heavy.
Seems like it was heavy to wield, which is so cool. Like it was hard to swing.
Do you think that's like a worthiness thing, or do you think it's just really freaking heavy?
I think it's really freaking heavy.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things like in Game of Thrones when some of the broadswords were just huge because like the guy who made it was a big boy. And I think like, well, my son will wield this and your son just doesn't. It's not that he's unworthy. He's just not a big boy.
Yeah. That's a little bit
man,
of
the
a...
hilt is made out of Beskar. That's dope.
I don't know if you would... It's not a retcon, but it's kind of like something they added on later because that wasn't the case in Clone Wars. Like Maul didn't like pick it up and he wasn't like, whoa, you know? And I don't think that I would consider him stronger than Din Djarin. So...
I don't... But I think Din Djarin also wasn't used to swinging a sword around.
No.
You know? Like that wasn't his thing. He was a blaster guy.
Yeah, but he's a
Whereas,
Mandalorian, though. They're
what?
strong dudes.
Yeah, I know. I just think that kind of combat wasn't natural to a Mandalorian. Like
Sure,
hand to hand, sure. Blasters, sure. You know, all the treachery that they do to each other, okay. Whereas, Maul was flipping around crazy lightsabers for a long time. Like I bet his dual bladed red lightsaber was probably not easy to use, I would imagine.
All right. Well, I wanted to see. Like,
yeah.
I had a quick Google search.
Google AI tells you? Yeah, okay.
It's heavy.
Why is the Darksaber heavy?
According to Reddit. Oh, okay. That doesn't really answer. Okay, someone here answers. Okay, so from Rebels, Sabine said that it was heavy. So Sabine said, when Sabine gets it, which we got to remember now that the Darksaber has been in 3 different shows: Mandalorian, Rebels, Clone Wars.
Yeah.
The Filoni-verse. I don't think the only thing maybe not in terms of Filoni-verse was Boba Fett. I don't think it was in Boba Fett. But anywho, Kanan says, energy constantly flows through the crystal. You're not so much fighting with a simple blade as you are directing a current of power. Your thoughts, your actions, they become energy. They flow through the crystal as well and become part of the blade. Interesting. So maybe it does have something to do with being a Force user. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, I think so. Well, a couple quick hits with this. The Darksaber would attempt to connect with its wielder on a subconscious level, with the blade feeling proportionally heavier or lighter depending on the wielder resisting or embracing the connection. Which makes sense, because do you think Din would embrace that connection? He really didn't. He didn't want to have the thing. He's like, here, have it. And then Bo-Katan's like, it doesn't really work that way. Also, when the armor was training him, she said that he was fighting against the weapon instead of his opponent, which also made it feel heavier.
That makes a lot of sense. And it kind of can explain Maul, because he had no hesitation.
Yeah.
And he was, I don't know if
yeah, he was, obviously tuned into the Force.
And like, I know this was a part of Knights of the Old Republic. Like, you could construct a lightsaber, and there were crystals with dark side energy and ones with light side. I'm wondering if the Darksaber, if there's anything with that, like, did it have dark side energy? Maybe.
Probably, yeah. It was constructed by a Mandalorian Jedi, but those things can be corrupted over time.
They can be. I feel like if a Mandalorian were to be one or the other, I would say dark side.
Yeah,
probably most of the time. So
neutral.
Gray Jedi, our favorite topic. So yeah, Moff Gideon gets it from Bo-Katan. I don't know, like Moff Gideon. What do you think about him as a villain?
I forget he's in. Is he in Rebels?
Moff. He's in. I don't think he's in Rebels. I think he might have been in Clone Wars a bit, but he's in the Mandalorian. I'm not the only thing when I'm.
Well, no, I think it is Rebels because that's the Great Purge happens during Rebels.
Okay.
And he's the one who. Remember, Bo-Katan negotiates and is like, you can have the Darksaber if you stop purging, and then he's like, sure, I'll take it, and then doesn't stop purging.
Can you stop purging?
Yeah.
Does he become the leader of Death Watch or of the Mandalorians while he has it?
I don't think so. I think.
Okay, no, yeah, he does, but. So I'm not.
Because they're pretty much all dead.
But I do remember them.
Remember,
they get like Mandalorian type fighters after he comes on board because they start using the jetpacks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if they were Mandalorians, all of them, but yeah.
Anyway, and we all know Din gets it, and he's just like, "What the fuck is this? I don't want it."
And as far as we know,
and then hands it off to Bo-Katan in kind of a unsatisfying glitch. Because remember, you and I were talking, I think this was after season 2, and I was thinking, oh no, this is going to be a thing where Bo-Katan has to eventually
fight,
turn on, like she's going to be a frenemy and maybe get close, and then she's going to turn on him to get the Darksaber. But like instead, Din kind of gives it to her on a technicality, which is like, well, you defeated me, or no, like I was defeated by what was he defeated, like a monster, right?
It was totally a technicality though. I don't remember.
What was the? I know it was the Mythosaur, right? Okay, remember the Mythosaur?
Oh, because she saved his life.
She saved him from the Mythosaur, and then. Like he drops the Darksaber during that thing, and then she picks it up but gives it back to him, and then like he just says, "Well, you helped me, you saved me from the Mythosaur. So the Mythosaur defeated me, and then you defeated the Mythosaur too. So I guess this is yours."
No. This you're cooking, dude. You're cooking. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that was I felt like you and I were both a little unsatisfied. Because I think the conflict would have been more interesting to have them fight. I guess I'm always in favor of that. But the Andor, I was too sad that there wasn't that Cassian didn't fight with Bix and that they had a Zoom call instead. And in this case, I'm upset that these people became friends instead of enemies. I just wanted them to be. They didn't have to necessarily be enemies forever. Just like. They should have had to have fought for it. That'd have been cooler.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Nick, I think that was Chains of Custody. The other one that I had was Ebon Hawk, but I don't think we have enough time tonight to cover that. But that was like Ebon Hawk.
We picked kind of like the coolest Chains of Custody stories, like the ones where it matters.
Yeah.
And I think in one way the Luke's lightsaber / the Skywalker lightsaber is the most important one to us, but I think the Darksaber has a little bit more of import because whoever has it gets to like lead a people. So I think that's more so like they kind of Lucasfilm or Star Wars, the storytellers are just saying like, yeah, this is important. Who has a thing is important. And it's so important that we're going to make this thing that you're the king if you have it.
Right.
Sort of Game of Thronesy in that way.
Well, that's a big fantasy trope, the sword.
Yeah.
And a lot of fantasy
games,
especially like, oh, this item has like super, abilities if you have it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like Star Wars is. I would say it's Star Wars is more grounded of a sci-fi world as much as it can be, or especially with the Force. Like they're not typically in the live action, especially they don't go too crazy with things like abilities and things that can like MacGuffins, that can give people power.
Yeah.
Like I think the Darksaber might be like you said. I think it might be the biggest step they've taken there.
Yeah.
It's not just like, oh, Star Wars. I mean, other than big giant destruction planet killers, which doesn't really count.
Yeah. I'm zeroing in on hold on. I want to show you something. I'm zeroing in on this picture of Din fighting pre-Vizsla or Paz Vizsla, not pre-Vizsla. And it makes me want to go watch The Mandalorian right now. Like that lighting is just so, the way that they made it like bounce off of his Beskar. I want to go watch that.
I would watch that. Yeah. It's sauce. The Darksaber's cool.
And actually this is from the Book of Boba Fett. This is actually not even from Mandalorian season.
Really? So it was,
remember,
so it did
this
appear
is the one
in
where
Book of Boba Fett.
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
Because remember, there's like a couple episodes in the Book of Boba Fett where like, we're gonna go revisit the. Like Mandalorian
actually,
now.
This is still the Mandalorian.
This is like, because remember, it's like the Book of Boba Fett was more like, this is Mandalorian 2.5. You know.
Yeah, this is Bob Fett. This is not Boba. This is
Bob.
It's actually Bob.
Ride it like a panther.
Not our favorite. Not our favorite Star Wars show.
Not our favorite show. No. But I'm glad it exists.
Yes, we love CGI Luke. We love CGI Luke's face.
We love him.
Really love him. But I think that's all we have for tonight. For Change of Custody, I think we learned a lot. I think I learned that in terms of like items of import. In the movie showverse, it's really the Darksaber. I mean, yeah, Anakin, the Skywalker lightsaber, it has like shades of it. Not that important, though. I mean,
it's important to us.
Yes, it's important to the fans,
to the bearer.
It's important to the lore, and there are like cool things with
for the culture.
Yes, it's for the culture. It's absolutely for the culture. Ships, like the Millennium Falcon, they have a lot of history around them. The Ebon Hawk is another one which we didn't get into, but that could be, if you're so inclined, go to the Ebon Hawk page on Wikipedia, and that one has like a fun, similar to the Millennium Falcon chronology. But other than that, that's all. I think that's all we got for tonight.
Yeah. Well, we have been back to Star Wars loose cannon.
This was more of a loose cannon-y episode.
This was a very Star Wars. We did have a nonsense topic.
We did. So. But yeah, I've been Chris Higgins.
I've been Nick Oswald. Thanks for tuning in.
We'll see you guys all next time.